Hey, folks. So it is, um, I feel like this is a timeless reading. I'm going to start off by saying that at the same time that I'm going to say this is Christmas Eve right now. Um, but this message is coming in. First off, let me pause for a second. My name is Chrii. Welcome to Somimbo Mind Off Grid. So, this message is coming in with a header of weird, yes, incorrect, no. And that message came through while I was working with a client earlier. And then when I sat down to sort of digress from work before I head to a party, which gatherings could be really important right now in your life if you're seeing this. But I had only a candle lit and I wanted to keep it that way. So that's why the lighting is what it is. Um, Again, with the theme weird, yes, incorrect, no. You can see my face. Um, it does mean that I have a larger shadow behind me, which may also be significant. Um, Depending on how something is lit, how much light is being cast on it, will also create the shadows. So from what angle, from what perspective, right? And this feels like a significant almost channel piece of weird yes, incorrect no, or weird, I think we said it, weird yes, but not incorrect. Yes, that's what it was. Weird yes, but not incorrect. What strikes someone as odd, strikes you as odd, is not odd many times. Many times it's the predictable things that are, I don't want to say an issue, but if not set up from a place of love, can and will eventually cause a problem. The predictable things, fully lit things, and the things that are less obvious are often delightful. So with that idea in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling the cards. Both of these cards, this card flipped first, and I was gonna shuffle it back in, but they was like, you better not. So, the first card is the Knight of Wands, and it's go on an adventurous quest, get out of your routine and explore, ride into new land, be driven and passionate. Y'all, let me do it again. Go on an adventurous quest, get out of your routine and explore, ride into a new land, be driven and passionate. Weird? Yes, but not incorrect. Do things that are an adventure. And it may not even be a new adventure, it may just be a road less traveled in your current life. So, like the holiday party I'm going to tonight is over my uncle's house. And no beef with my uncle, just I was growing up and I was out doing my other meandering things and he was doing his own thing. Always love, right? Just distant. And he's holding up holiday party, Christmas Eve party, and he invited me when we was at my mother's house, and I'm gonna go. I don't know much of his family, his not new family, but well, yeah, his new family, like his married family that he's married into. But they're wonderful people. And when I get uncomfortable, if I get uncomfortable, if I'm ready to go, if I'm tired, there's no hard feelings because it's like you showed up, you showed face, you shared space, you shared love, and everything's great, right? New adventures. Like, get weird in the new year. Get weird in, let me see, January, February, March, April. So 4 months, that's 4 months from now. In your next 4 months, right now we're in winter, but you could feel like you're in a season of winter, which I feel like we have the celestial seasons, but then we also have our own seasons. But that's a topic for a different day. The second one is the Five of Wands. So we got two Wands cards out right now. Five of Wands, conflict and competition are necessary to keep moving forward, determining a leader. So I don't feel like this is a leader as far as like a person. I feel like this is a leader as far as like a frequency. Like, what is needed now in today's society are frequency leaders. Less words, I think, or less propaganda. So I'm looking at my little cheat, not even cheat, my little information cards right here. So wands, we got two wands cards so far. We've only pulled two cards, so I feel like that's significant. Fire element, of course, with my candle right here, as being my only source of light. So what burns inside of you? Like, yeah, what burns inside of you? When I was having this conversation with my client, which I've in that I've been doing one-to-one healing work for 10 years now. And in this digital age that we're currently in, it's word of mouth is digital now. And that's just not a place that I'm familiar with because that's not a place that I was groomed in. So it's like, how do I match the frequency of the need, right? Weird for me, yes. And when I wrote this statement down, I wrote weird dot dot dot, or weird comma dot dot dot, yes. Because like there can be things going on in the middle, but the end thing is yes, like weird for me, yes. So if you are like me in any way, my age is kind of irrelevant to this because you don't have to be a certain age to have grown up without a crap ton of technology and stuff. It's more of a social economic thing. But, and even then, it's a personal choice thing. But there may be things that this new year, this new era of Pluto and Aquarius, is asking of you. And it's not just Pluto and Aquarius. There are a crap ton of, or I'm going to say a significant number of planet shifting signs that have been in certain signs for 8 to 20 years. I'm not an astrologer, but I pay attention to people who are. And that's a common theme right now. And that, to me, speaks to the need for us to lean more. Ooh, that just came through, rang right through my ears. Lean more unto thine own understanding. Like, what do you know about life based on your own personal journey, your own understanding of frequencies, your own knowing? Lean unto thine own understanding. Lean into thine own understanding. What is your soul saying to you? Like, and when it comes to the soul, we're talking about we're talking about the specific channels. Like, if you're on a radio, think about if we all had a radio, or I'm gonna just stick to a radio. I'm not even gonna stress myself out. It's coming up with a different analogy. If we all had a radio and every single human on the planet had a line of frequency on that radio. Weird? Yes, but not incorrect. Lean into thine own understanding. Your specific channel. Yours. Nobody can stand where you're standing. Nobody can sit where you're sitting. Nobody knows what you know in the way you know it, with the way you learned it, in the interweaving that comes from only you, comes from only your walk. There's this idea of like, well, I got big shoes to fill. I should find a passion. You don't have to have just one passion. Some of the best radio stations growing up played all types of music. It wasn't a specific genre. They played it at all different times and blended it all together. And you had a choice. You could love it or not. It could be weird to you. That doesn't make it wrong. And you learn to just flow with what was there or decide to change the station. It's a time to be aware, more aware than ever, of what you are choosing to hold in your frequency, or how you're choosing to hold something in your frequency. What you're choosing to say in engagements. And not because you're holding back who you are, just recognizing when there is something that's off station for you, that you have a choice not to engage in. Okay? This next card, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, deception regarding skill and laziness. What you do what you do to align with your station of now is sort of based on the engagements. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to hear what's coming in. what you have to do, what you need to do, what is aligned and resonant for you to do in your now is very much about a translation, transmutation, and resolution of cyclical energies that your soul's spark has experienced throughout the sands of time. It's not just about right now. There are souls that are younger than others simply because there are humans that were here before others. And at one point, I believe that when there were less humans on the earth, the amount of souls were spread out in different entities, different animal kingdom ways. And then as more humans came about, less animals were around, and so on and so forth, right? There's a certain amount of energy that needs to be displaced and dispersed. I feel like that's something for a different time. However, right now, think about going into your new year. And I know I paused on the definition, not definition, but my what I picked up as important for the wands. But I feel like it's coming back in a second. Going into your next year. So whenever you're listening to this, that's either going to be the calendar new year, spring, or your birthday. So I believe we get 3 different years, 3 different resets on a year. So there's the calendar year, which is the societal energy of restarting the year, but the irony of it, at least where I am, is that it starts in the winter. So we're restarting. We're restarting when things are in hibernation. So it's more like restart when you think about spring. And I'm saying spring for this because it needs a space of hibernation. Whatever. Okay, here we go. So the wands that we started with, you have the Knight of Wands, which I don't know if you can see the picture. But the knights are always sort of charging into battle. They're on a mission. They're the fighters, right? But they're fighting for something specific. So your passion, energy, willpower, and strength. Archetypes of human action and reaction. Choices, adventure, and dealing with challenges. So this choices, adventure, and dealing with challenges made my brain say weird. Yes, not incorrect. Like, you might be making different choices. You might be going on new adventures, and this doesn't just have to do with you going on a plane. Like, it could be getting out of your neighborhood, changing the group of people that are surrounding you, whether you're doing that on purpose or it's just happening. And if it's just happening around you and you're not really doing anything, it could be weird, but it could also be not incorrect, right? You could feel that it's not incorrect. It's in alignment for where you are. and then dealing with challenges. So these things may pose a challenge. If you're going outside of your norm, you might go somewhere you don't like. You might go somewhere that you really enjoy, right? And then it may end up causing you to question everything you know, which that's great, but don't be so hard on yourself if you come across something that you're just like, I used to settle for such and such, or I used to blah blah blah. That means you've leveled up. You grew up a little bit. Good job, little baby. So, and also it feels significant that the one Pentacles card we got out of the 3 tarot we just pulled is in the reverse. Like, Pentacles always make me think of money. So it's like, everything does not have to be about for or including the almighty dollar. If your new adventure is just going outside into a green space near your near or away from your home, then that might be your new adventure. Getting back out into nature, choosing not to be in energetic conflict. And I find that choosing not to be in energetic conflict for me comes much easier when I spend or have spent a significant amount of time in nature, because nature is naturally chaotic, and it allows you to, sorry, I need to, me and this Papasan chair. I love Papasan chairs. And I love my chair, but I feel like I need to move it and put it somewhere else. It's time to shift it around in my house. So, this is the metaphysical cannabis deck. And I really feel like there's a card that needs to come out of there, but maybe not right this second. So I guess that shuffle was just to put it on hold. So, nope, just go straight to the book. Okay, so you're in a time where, or you're going to receive this message in a time where you are, I don't even know what this is yet. Yeah, this candlelight. You are, you're in an ascension. You're in an up level. You're in, you're either in one. Well, this will still be in one. So you may have just gone through something, and this doesn't have to be a bad something. It could be a so high level great something, but even so high level great somethings are going to change your path forward. It does not always have to be negative. That is causing you to, and it's bringing me back to the translate, and like, it's causing you to retranslate life and transmute, like retranslate life by transmuting the past with your present to create something brand new that is leading you more to a life of contentment despite what may be said about it externally. Anything else? I felt like something was supposed to come out of here just now. Not all that. Hello? Anybody hear me? This one. Another wands. Another wand. 3 of wands. The path is clear. You need to invest your time and energy to succeed. Charted destination and ready to embark on your adventure. Embrace optimism. Like I was just saying. It doesn't matter. And also, like I said, the whole theme. Weird. Yes. To you or to someone else or to wounded versions of you or to, because it's not weird to the elevated soul version of you, or you wouldn't even like want to do it. Or if it's like weird to, like, if it might be weird to the ego you, it might be weird to the ego of others, but incorrect. Gotta try it out and see, right? So this is the book from the Moonology Messages Oracle deck. I could pull a card, but the deck was like, "No, leave me alone. Just go to the book." And what I got, Moon Memories. What was I just talking about? You're taking the past and translating it in a way that transmutes. And transmutation can also happen with positive things. They can get more positively charged, which does, in a way, pull in negatively charged shadow. But then it's so that you can grow the positive, translate the negative. There is no light without dark. There is no light without dark. If there was just dark, there would be just dark. The light is what shows us all the things in the dark. So even we have to embrace duality. We have to embrace moving on. We have to embrace the possibility. We have to embrace the possibility. I was going to say the possibility of change, but change is inevitable. We just have to embrace the possibility. And what the possibilities are is very much not up to you in a way, but you do have the ability to choose a station. So there's your station, and then there's other people's stations, and then there's other frequencies, and then so on and so forth. And you have the ability to go back and forth and bring it back and translate it for yourself, transmute it for yourself, and then sticking with the T's, so many alliterations. Translate it, transmute it, and then transfer that frequency out into the world. But it was about, the card was Moon Memories, the past. Whatever you're going through now is being strongly influenced by past memories. Maybe it has to do with your childhood programming. For example, if you were told you weren't good enough, you are. Or that there wasn't enough money to go around. There is. Such things from our past influence our present and therefore our future. Drawing this card suggests you need to be really honest about which situation from your past is negatively influencing your present. Like I said, light up those shadows. Light up that darkness, find those shadows. And then you need to clear it. Acknowledging that something challenging from your past is keeping you back from moving forward now is the first step. See the past for what it is. Something that happened, something that shaped you, and that can be a springboard from which you can move. Do some self-development to get the answer to your question. What in your past is negatively impacting you now? Clear that, and everything else will fall into place. When dark memories come, replace them with happier ones to shift your focus and raise your vibration frequency quickly. Take it in. Shift everything. You have a choice. You have a choice. And those around you may choose a certain path, a certain way, a certain up level may appeal to them that doesn't appeal to you. A certain retreat mechanism may appeal to them that does not appeal to you. And it's okay for that to be the case. Okay, the metaphysical cannabis deck finally decided it wanted to join the party. I'm so appreciative. Thank you. So we have magic alignment and crystal technology. Magic alignment and crystal technology. Both singular hands. Wow. This hand's on my left, this hand's on my right. And when I first looked at it, I believe I've seen the magic card before, and it's like streaming color coming down the hand like paint. Circle of life on the hand and a glow coming out of the center. So this card is talking about magic and alignment. Alignment, like I was just saying, you have your specific station. What is your alignment? What is in alignment for you? What feels like magic? And magic isn't always this big, like, thing. We are a spark of the divine. It's in your hands. It's in what you put out. And if you're not using your hands right now, both of my hands, both of my palms. If you're not using your hands right now, please do. Please do. Even if your neck hurts, you rub it. If you can reach, if you have the ability, I'm not like saying if you don't have the ability to, but like if you don't have hands, use your feet. If you can't reach that high, just go wherever you can and send the energy from your hands to that area. And then you can go and find someone. If you have the ability, connections, to find a practitioner who can do that for you, with you. Not necessarily for you, but with you. Yes, with you. Because when you show up to a new side tangent, feel it coming. when you, and I'm saying this as a practitioner and also as like a homie. When you roll up to a practitioner, there are practitioners who they live, breathe the frequency of what you are coming to them for, as well as more. Going to it is an act of acceptance and surrender. Utilize that time to fully see that energy through. If you're going to a reader for a reading, if you're going to a body worker for body work, if you're going to an energy healer for energy work, if you're going, and of course, use your discernment. If something is not feeling good, use your discernment. But also, discernment means knowing why it doesn't feel good. Is it not feeling good because you're in an act of, and you're in active ego resistance? Think about that. Because that blocks the magic. Not only the magic from that person, but the magic from you from coming through. That person, that practitioner, their person, that practitioner is a person stepping forth to be a portal, to meet you and create a portal. Imagine they have superpowers, you have superpowers, you come to them and you sync up to create this new portal to move you forward and through. And I feel like this crystal technology, silicone, is the next card. This card is very pink. Heart, open your heart in these spaces. Always have discernment, but open your heart. Feel. Allow yourself to feel. One thing my client and I also talked about today was you'll never be big enough. You'll never be big kid enough to hold all your emotions. Little kids, like babies, little children, tiny bodies, big emotions just comes right out. But that's because they're still fully tapped in. And they could cry 1 second and be laughing the next. You have that ability too. They're human just like you're human. And we have to be able, when I said you're going through an ascension, like there are parts of our DNA, there are parts of our brain. I'm not sure of the exact percentages right now because that's just not where my head is at. But there are studies that show we don't use all of our brain. We don't use all of our muscle mass. We don't use all of the fat stores. We don't use all of the things in our bodies, and we never will all at one time until the day we die, at which point we use the last of the direct fuel for the vessel to continue to hold the spirit. But until then, we have the ability to continue to sync, continue to link, continue to grow, continue to fully crystallize our DNA into a working structure, non-dormant structure. And some of our DNA, I just heard generational curse breakers, some of our DNA is going to, and my eyes went back to this wands card. All of these wands But this figure's only carrying one. You only need the one. Yours. And every once in a while, you may help others, see theirs. Maybe even carry it for a spell. It's funny I said for a spell. That's so country, so old. And I don't ever say that. So maybe somebody's ancestors are trying to speak to them, because that is not in my repertoire. But you may carry it with you. We also got the magic cards for a spell. But know that anything you're putting out there is a activation for something in your future. And that future could be anywhere from 30 seconds to 40 years later. There's no time limit on time. Time is not linear. So go out there into this new year, whether it is you're settling into a hibernative period, like we are as far as the earthly time now. In the northern hemisphere, we're settling into winter. So maybe you're settling into, not settling as in you are settling for BSery, but like a slowing down, a melt in a way. As I sit here and melt this piece of purple wax. But it's a melt in a way. You're melting all the things that you've taken in throughout the spring and summer and aligning them slowly but surely. And then you're setting some things aside. Not everything that went dormant in the fall and winter returns in the spring. Not all of it's meant to. And it may be the same for you. So remember, things might get weird. Yes. But you get to decide whether or not they're incorrect. I hope this message gave you something that you can chew on, something to digest, something that you can use. And if not, not everything lands with everyone, but it's all love from over here. So, create great days, guys. Bye.